Star Emergency. This is Kyle speaking.
Something just ran in front of us down the road. It looked like a great big dog.
I don't know if I should have called this in or not, but
what's going on?
if I'd have my camera, I'd take a picture of it.
Took a picture of who?
I don't know what it was. He's walking upright like a man. I would not kill it because I was afraid to.
Hello everyone and welcome back to OTN Paranormal. Can you guess what we're talking about today? If you can't, it's the Michigan Dogman, a fascinating creature which has more sightings than Bigfoot, believe it or not. Before we get right into it, make sure you guys like this video and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything else, and let's get into it. Starting in 1887, when two lumberjacks reported seeing a creature with the head of a dog and the torso of a man in Wexford County, Michigan. But this was just the beginning of the sightings because they carried all throughout the upper half of Michigan. And even though all of this was going on, Dogman never really got his popularity until Steve Cook made a song about, well, the creature and his sightings.
A cool summer morning in early June is when the legend began. At a nameless logging camp in Wexford County where the Manistee River ran. 11 lumberjacks near the Garland Swamp found an animal they thought was a dog. In a playful mood, they chased it around till it ran inside a hollow log. A logger named Johnson grabbed him a stick and poked around inside. Then the thing let out an unearthly scream and came out and stood upright.
Sightings of Dogman have varied throughout the years, so it is safe to assume that if there is one, he's not alone. He has been described to be about 6 to 7 feet tall with either bright blue or amber yellow eyes, standing on his two hind legs with the face of a dog or maybe even a wolf, and the torso of a man with a horrible scream-like howl. Now, it's been said that you can find Dogman in the deep woods of Michigan, either maybe near a cabin lodge or a campsite. But he really has been spotted all over Michigan. He is, however, known to find people in the dead of night and just stare them down, which is absolutely horrifying to think about. Could you imagine running into this creature in the middle of the night and having a staring contest with it? No, thank you. Now, this has happened to a lot of people, but I'm going to start off with a man named Ray. Ray made a report of seeing the creature on his way home from the recruiting station one night. He said he had seen a pair of eyes that were too high off the ground to be a deer. When he pulled over, the creature started charging at him, making an unforgettable leap across the two-lane road before disappearing into the night. When ending his statement, Ray goes on to say that he will never forget those creatures' eyes. They appeared through the night like nothing he had ever seen before, and they will stick with him forever. Now, that actually reminds me of a report made by a man named Ron. Ron had stated that he was driving late one night when he had seen a pair of eyes slowing down, assuming that it was a deer. When he had come to a complete stop, looking down, he had noticed that there was a hand, but the hand was much too large to be a human hand. Looking up to see what it was, Ron was met with his absolute nightmare, seeing the silhouette of a wolf's head and a human body. He stood absolutely frozen in fear. Now, Ron stated that the creature had turned his head and made direct eye contact with him before moving down the road. Ron said he did not move until the creature was completely out of his sight, and once he hit the gas pedal. He said, word for word, he had never driven so fast in his entire life, that he had went right past the creature and didn't look back for 1 second. He just wanted to get home. Once he was home, he locked the doors and stayed inside. But the reportings just don't stop. In 2001, a man and his stepdaughter made a report about possibly seeing Dogman outside of their house. They reported to see a creature standing on its hind legs with fur as black as night, apparently, with big bright eyes. He said it was almost as large as a bear. But not only did they make this report, they went on a little farther, saying that there was a chance that he was actually living in the swamp in their backyard, saying that they were constantly hearing rustling around back there super late at night and hearing these blood-curdling screams. Now, one thing about Dogman is that his howl is known to sound very, well, human screaming-like, which would make sense. Oh no, I'm not done. A 13-year-old girl goes out late night for a smoke. She's hiding from her parents. They're not allowed to know she smokes cigarettes. She goes out to the barn. She's leaning up against the barn. She goes to smoke a cigarette. She hears rustling behind her. She looks behind her to find, well, something absolutely horrifying. A wolf's head. Doesn't even bother to look down anymore. She runs back to her house. She is freaking out, absolutely horrified. Her family tries to get her to tell her what's going on. She just can't tell her story. Finally, the next morning, she gets it out. She tells them what she saw, and they all think that she is absolutely insane. They go over to the neighbor's house. They ask the neighbor, "Hey, have you seen anything?" As soon as they say that, the neighbor's face goes absolutely white. "I don't know how to tell you this, but I saw a creature coming out of your barn late last night. I heard your daughter scream. What I saw was unlike anything else. The head of a dog and the torso of a man. Off into the night, faster than anything else I've ever seen." I'm gonna guess that the conversation after that went pretty weird. Could you imagine? These are just a few of the hundreds of sightings of Dogman. Not only are these reports from different points in time, but from different points in Michigan. Which brings me back to a point I made earlier in the video. If there's one, there has to be multiple. From everything I've looked into and all the reports I've read and all the reports that have been made and sightings that have been made, it is so hard for me to ignore the existence of Dogman. But what about you? Do you believe he's real? Make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Let me know what you would do if you ran into him. Like the video so I know you enjoyed, and subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. But other than that, I'm not going to hold you, so have a good night, guys.
Paranormal. Don't breathe. They will hear you.
Out the upper. Okay, we're done. Peninsula. I'm not even going to say that. No, I think I might sneeze, actually. Okay. Now, in the fall of 1919, home from the recruiting. You know how to speak English. You learned a really long time ago. Why are you still struggling with this?